Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you a very thorough overview of the article here as opposed to read through every last word. There's a link in the description. I need to give you a trigger warning. This does involve the stabbing of two children, one boy, one girl, one 5-year-old, one 7-year-old. I don't know which one's the boy, which one's the girl. They were both stabbed by the guy, the scumbag that you see in front of you. His name is Trevor Hooper Killian. From Florida, 47 years of age, a chiropractor, and we'll go into his family history in a little bit. But I will tell you straight away the condition of the two children. They were hospitalized. The boy had 2 stab wounds to his back. The girl had a stab wound to her chest. Both had collapsed lungs. Now, thankfully, the blessing is that they are both in a stable condition. And of course, we hope, we pray that they make a full recovery. Their recovery continues, both physically as well as emotionally. The article doesn't state categorically that the guy that you see in front of you is the father of the 2 children. However, it seems pretty likely. He certainly is the husband to the mother, so I presume he's the father. And essentially, the family has had a rough time, according to the wife, Lauren Killian. The family's had a rough time. He's a chiropractor. He had 2 businesses, one as a chiropractor, the other a fitness business, which I believe both the husband and the wife ran or owned. And both businesses suffered due to COVID. So there were a lot of restrictions for both the chiropractor business and the gym or fitness business, which weakened both businesses. On top of that, the wife, is it Lauren or Lauren Killian? Yes, Lauren Killian lost a child. She had a miscarriage after 35 weeks. So they went through a very rough period. They sold everything. I think that means they sold their house. I don't know. I'm presuming there. And they moved to Naples, Florida, where this incident occurred, if I understand correctly. Now, apparently, this man, Trevor Hooper Killian, had been using synthetic cannabis for quite some time. We don't know exactly how long, but I would guess years perhaps, or certainly a lengthy period of time. But he had stopped using synthetic cannabis approximately 2 weeks prior to this incident. And I believe the incident happened earlier this week. It mentions Tuesday. So I believe it happened Monday or Tuesday. So approximately 2 weeks prior to the stabbing of the 2 children, he gave up using synthetic cannabis. And during that period, after having stopped, he began to act abnormally. He had several manic episodes. He was also not eating and not sleeping. The wife, the mother, did say that he hasn't been violent to either herself or the children at any time prior to this incident, but he certainly had been experiencing manic episodes in the 2 weeks prior to this incident, having stopped using synthetic cannabis. Now, in the evening in question, the 2 parents, the husband and the wife, put the children to bed. It seems like they shared the same bedroom, put them both to bed, and then they went to bed at around 9 p.m. The husband got up to get himself a drink and then went back to bed, and then he got up again, and the wife saw him close to the children's bedroom in the hallway, and the wife noticed that he had a knife in his hand. And then he said, "I stabbed them. What have I done?" So allegedly, he told the wife that he had stabbed both the children, the 5-year-old, the 7-year-old. The wife, the mother, ran, screamed, ran into the bedroom, the children's bedroom. She locked herself in and the husband out. She locked herself in the bedroom. She did what she could to take care of the two children, and she called 911. She didn't open the door until the officers arrived at the front door. They came in, and the officers gave immediate medical attention to the two children, took them to the ambulance, which was awaiting outside. And the officers also found the scumbag, Trevor Hooper Killian, in the master bedroom. He had severe lacerations to both his arms, seemingly, quite obviously, self-inflicted. He had a knife on him. It is believed that that knife was the knife that was used to stab his two children. He was taken to hospital. He was arrested whilst at hospital. And that's pretty much all of the details. So hopefully I mentioned that he has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. Again, the article doesn't explicitly state, but it seems pretty clear that he is the father and he stabbed his own 2 children. Again, both of the children thankfully are in a stable condition. The boy had 2 stab wounds to his back. The girl had a stab wound to her chest. Both had collapsed lungs. So thankfully there was an angel there looking after them, and thankfully the mother also did what she could. You know, she protected her children. I'm not going to attack the mother, and I guess there's an argument that the mother could be attacked for not addressing the manic episodes that the husband was experiencing, but that seems a bit harsh. I don't know, but certainly in the moment after she realized her 2 children had been stabbed, she did absolutely everything she could, and thankfully that was enough to allow the officers to come and the ambulance to take the 2 children to hospital and give them the medical treatment that they needed to save their lives. I mean, literally, we're lucky this happened in 2022, because stabbing a children and to this extent, without the modern medical treatment and system that we have, where you can call officers and get an ambulance to take you to the hospital and have an emergency accident and emergency department and all of this, experienced doctors and nurses. I mean, is this a silly comment? We're lucky we're in 2022, because otherwise, that those would have been deadly stab wounds, wouldn't they? If they didn't have the opportunity to get immediate medical treatment, they would have died. So that's pretty much the whole article there. So of course we hope the 2 children make a full recovery. We hope the mother is able to cope with all of this. I'm not aware of a GoFundMe. If you guys are, feel free to point me in the right direction. I hope this scumbag gets exactly what he deserves, which is going to be, I'll say life in prison or decades in prison. Having said that, I think it's important to note the human side of this situation. Human side, am I using the right term? The aspects where he and his family, he and his wife, suffered a lot of mental anguish over the last couple of years. They're not the only ones, but we're told that a lot of people are suffering from mental health issues, depression of various kinds. We're experiencing untold levels of stress, financial stress. I don't have children, and I've got to say that I'm mostly thankful for not having children, because If I were to have children, if I were in a position where I had to financially support a family, children, I just wouldn't be able to do it. I would, and it would devastate me. It would devastate me. You would just feel distraught if you're not in a position to financially support your family, to support your children. It would be devastating for me and for others. So I don't know. What's my point is, I think there is like a human angle here. In addition to that, another important aspect brought up is synthetic cannabis. I don't know much about synthetic cannabis. Never used synthetic cannabis. Don't know too much about it. But yeah, I mean, it seemingly, in this case, on the basis of this one article, but seemingly that played a part in causing, allowing, or whatever the correct words may be, but perhaps having some level of influence on manic episodes. This guy apparently wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping, was experiencing manic episodes. That's not good. So I don't know what the protocol is in that kind of situation, but I guess the protocol ought to be call someone. If you are experiencing manic episodes, if you're inflicting that much self-harm, denying yourself sleep or such, or if you're aware that your partner, your family member is doing that to themselves, experiencing that, I don't know. I mean, am I silly for saying that that's when you call authorities? I don't know. Maybe the authorities won't want to deal with it, but that kind of seems like the responsible thing to do to me. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap things up at this point, guys. Have I done a half decent job? Has this been worthwhile covering? I think so. It's terribly sad. It's very confusing as well. I'm confused by it. Confused isn't the right word, but I'm troubled by it. Because if it is if it is like financial stress which is causing people to do this, to experience these mental breakdowns and to be extremely violent to their children or other people, then isn't this going to prompt a lot more situations like this? Aren't a lot more people going to be at breaking point? I mean, my answer is yes. We're going to continue to see this, and we're going to continue to read that at least part of the reasons are due to financial stress, and perhaps this reason, that reason. But yeah, it's a big thing. I'll stop now. So if you do like it, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Thanks.